So yesterday we conducted a test, rather day before yesterday. You got good marks. If you have any doubt, ask. Otherwise, I'm proceeding with the chapter. Okay. Bhumika, you have to give me the feedback. Bache, I'm going to show you one chapter, resource and development. Bhumika, thumbs up or thumbs down if video and audio both are okay to you.
So here is the brief content as to what we will be reading in this chapter. With no further ado, let's begin. So what is the meaning of the term resource? So here it says everything available in our
Everything available around us, but and which satisfy our need, known as resource. Everything available may, this is very important, technologically accessible, economically feasible, culturally acceptable. These three terms you people by all means are supposed to write. What is a resource? Resource which satisfy our need, resource which are technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable. Undoubtedly, we have done the definitions of or meanings of all that. So I'm proceeding with it.
environment, which can be used to satisfy our needs, provided it is technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable. That is defined as resource. Now, we know human beings heavily rely on natural resources. It could
Whatever resources are around us, whatever, all are from natural resources. We people have converted natural into a human-made resources. We thoroughly depend on nature to make any resource. कोई भी resource हमने बनाना है, से solar energy, से electricity, से wind energy, से soil as a resource, सारे crops we want to grow, every resource we obtain from nature. Then we convert it to make it as a human-made resource.
could be both for building infrastructure or feeding the population. Now, you need to understand that there is a cost associated with everything. If a resource can be easily
Cost associated with everything. कुछ भी बनाने के लिए money तो definitely we require. And if money is extraordinary resource, the value would increase much more.
extractable or usable, that's a good sign because it will heavily reduce the cost. So for that we need to have good technology. That is what is technologically accessible means. Now economically feasible. So previously in the videos I have told you the meaning of economics is resource allocation. If the particular resource cannot be allocated efficiently amongst the people, citizen or population, then it will be difficult to distribute because then the market forces are going to act on it, like increase in prices or decrease in demand, and that can actually make the market unstable, and no country would like to have that. So that is the meaning of economically feasible. And then comes the term culturally acceptable. It is pretty easy to understand because it means that it needs to resonate with the community. Now I'll give you a very simple example for this. So if you see in the market, we have multiple variety of single product. Do you know why is it so? Because everyone can resonate and accept it as per their own benefit. For example, if a particular community or a particular person doesn't like some product, we can always have an alternative to that. So these kind of things are very important when it comes to resource. So this inter
So culturally acceptable, usually we talk about tobacco in Punjab. Yeah, beef in India. Culturally not acceptable. So that's why not considered as a resource in our
dependent
country.
relationship is very important to understand. So I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Now let's read about the classification of resources. Now the resources can be classified in following ways. First is on the basis of origin. Then we
So
have
we
on
know very well, base of origin, we have biotic, abiotic, living and non-living, exhaustibility, renewable and non-renewable, ownership, who is the owner of the resource. We have individual, community, national and international resource, and status of development. We have stock, developed and potential resource.
human, man-made, and under natural we have two types again, that is renewable and non-renewable. So renewable is something that can be replenished and non-renewable is the opposite.
Generally asked, what do you mean by replenished resources and non-replenished resources? Students usually get confused. What is replenish? Replenish is renewed. Non-replenish is non-renewable. दिमाग में रखना, these two words can also be, question can be asked in these two words also. ये जरूरी नहीं है renewable and non-renewable ही हो.
opposite of it. Under human resource, we have again two things, that is structure and institution, and quantity and quality. And under renewable, we have one that is biologically renewed. Another one is which is nature continuous, like wind, water, and solar, etc. And under the biological, we have two forms, that is wildlife and plants. Similarly, under non-renewable source, we have two things, that is recyclable and non-recyclable. So this was the classification of resources. So the first classification is on the basis of origin, that is biotic and abiotic. So what is the biotic resources?
So
These
we
are
know it will obtain from biosphere, human being, flora, fishery, livestock, etc. Abiotic, non-living, rocks, metals, whatever we see around non-living. Exhaustibility, renewable, which can be renewed, which can be reproduced. For example, solar energy, wind energy, water energy, wildlife and all. Then we have non-renewable, which cannot be renewed. For example, metals, fossil fuel, etc.
things. They are called abiotic, like rocks and metals. So, biotic means living organisms and abiotic means non-living things. And the second kind of classification is on the basis of exhaustibility, that is renewable resources and non-renewable resources. So what is renewable resources? The resource that can be renewed or reproduced by physical, chemical or mechanical process. Can also be divided into continuous or flow. So the meaning of continuous is which does not have a stop. For example, wind energy and solar energy. This will not be stopped anytime. It will be continuous. And by the meaning of flow, we mean water, forest or wildlife. So water will come again in the river only if there is rainfall. So if there is less rainfall, there will be no water. So rainfall and other factors. So these all comes under flow. The next one is non-renewable resources. So it is simply the opposite of renewable resources, which is that cannot be replenished. For
Cannot be renewed. We can't use it again and again. Once used would come
example,
to an end.
minerals and fossil fuels. Because these kind of resources take millions of years for the existing organisms to decay and form fossils. Nationally owned or internationally owned. So what is the meaning of individual resources? So they are owned privately by individuals. For example, sanitation, or they can have a pasture land.
So individual resource are resources which are owned by a particular person, any person, my house, my village, my this, my that. That is individual resource. Community owned resources are resources which are owned by a community men. For example, village, for example, public parks, for example, picnic supports, for example, ponds, this and that. Then we have national resources, the resources which are owned by nation. Forest, minerals, they all fall under this.
Some examples like grazing ground, burial ground, village pond, public park, picnic spots, etc. Here you will not have individual rules because it is meant for public. So everyone is given similar rights. And the third one is national resources. Now basically every resource belongs to nation. Some are equal.
Basically, every resource belongs to nation. For example, if I say this is my house, undoubtedly it is individual resource. But if need arises, if country needs my house, I can't refuse. I have to give my house to the country. Though I'll get compensation in the form of money and the form of house somewhere else, but I can't refuse to the government, look, this is my house, I can't give it to you. I have to give it because all resources, whatever is in the country, actually belongs to national resource. चाहे हम कहते हैं बट वी आर पेइंग टैक्सेस टू देम, हम जितने भी रिसोर्स हैं हमारी कंट्री में सारे के सारे एक्चुअली आर नेशनल रिसोर्स. द रिसोर्सेज बिलोंग्स टू अ कंट्री. जब भी कंट्री को जरूरत होगी कंट्री कैन टेक दोस रिसोर्सेज फ्रॉम अस.
Are paid a certain amount by the government. But what I'm trying to say is that to build these roads, canals and railways for public interest, the government has the legal power to acquire private properties. Now all the minerals, water resources, forest, wildlife, everything within the political boundaries of a particular country, the government has the control over all of this. And that is why it is called as national resources. And the last one is international resources. So for this we have international institutions and bodies like the United Nations and other such bodies. So one good example of international resources is the oceanic resources. For
Grammarly does more than catch it.
Yes, anyone having any doubt till now, beta? Anyone having any doubt till now? कोई डाउट नहीं है किसी को भी? All are so intelligent. हाँ ओके, अंशिका is saying ma'am, no doubt. Rest of you? Hashima, okay. So let's proceed.
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम।
जी बच्चे जी।
मैम जैसे हमारा घर है वो भी नेशनल रिसोर्स के अंडर आता है?
बेटा जितना भी रिसोर्स है ना, जितना भी हमारी कंट्री में है, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई से माय हाउस इज नियर नेशनल हाईवे, है ना, सिंपल एग्जांपल बता रही हूँ, या आपके घर में से सिंपल से आपने उसके लिए सबमर्सिबल लगाना था, आपने यू डग द लैंड एंड व्हाट डिड यू गेट, से पेट्रोलियम स्टार्ट कमिंग आउट फ्रॉम योर हाउस, है ना, सो दैट पेट्रोलियम इज कमिंग आउट फ्रॉम योर हाउस, यू से दिस इज माय हाउस, बट उस पेट्रोलियम की अगर हम बात करें, द पेट्रोलियम विच वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट बिलोंग्स टू अ कंट्री, तो कंट्री जो है, नेशन जो है, दे विल टेक हाउस फ्रॉम यू, दे विल बाय हाउस फ्रॉम यू, ऐसा नहीं आपसे हाउस छीन लेंगी, दे विल गिव यू मनी इन मनी एंड इन लिeu ऑफ दैट यू हैव टू हैंड ओवर हाउस टू देम, नेशनल रिसोर्स। या मैं कहूँ कि माय हाउस इज वेरी मच नियर टू हाईवे एंड हाईवे अथॉरिटीज नीड माय हाउस टू कंस्ट्रक्ट रोड देयर, एंड आई कांट से कि नहीं आई विल नॉट गिव माय हाउस, आई हैव टू, बिकॉज उन्होंने हाईवे बनाना है फ्रॉम पंजाब, पंजाब से लेकर कश्मीर तक सड़क बनानी है उन्होंने, आई हैव टू गिव माय हाउस, और वो मुझे इन द फॉर्म ऑफ कंपनसेशन दे विल गिव यू मनी, या कुछ भी दे कैन, हमारी जो अपनी इंटरनल म्यूचुअल डील पे डिपेंड होगा। इज दिस पॉइंट क्लियर? वी हैव टू, वी कांट से नहीं, हम नहीं दे सकते, वो नेशनल रिसोर्स है सारा।
Been utilized. And one good example is the western part of India, that is Rajasthan and Gujarat. They have enormous potential for the development of wind and solar energy, but we have not tapped on it. So the meaning of potential is it has more.
पोटेंशियल इज पॉसिबिलिटी, सिंपल, कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है इसमें, हर साल हर बच्चे जरूर कंफ्यूज होते हैं। पोटेंशियल का मतलब है सिंपल पॉसिबिलिटी, वी कैन डेवलप द रिसोर्स, पॉसिबिलिटी इज यस वी कैन डेवलप द रिसोर्स। फॉर एग्जांपल राजस्थान में वी हैव enormous solar energy, in Tamil Nadu we have enormous wind energy, but right now we haven't started using it.
More ability, but somehow it has not been used to its limit. The next one is developed resources. By the name of it, it means developed. It also means matured. Now, resources that have been surveyed and their quality and quantity have been determined.
Matured, surveyed, quantity, quality, we know, we have a technology, we're using those resources, known as developed resources.
For example, we know how much of coal is there in India. Similarly, we also know how much of iron ore is there in the region of Chota Nagpur Plateau. So this has been done by scientific surveys and satellites, and we have an estimation about their quality as well as the quantity. So this is all because of the technology. So with this information, we can determine how much to use it, how much not to use it, and how much to preserve it. Again, it is also helpful to determine how much to export and how much not to export. So this all comes under developed resources. And the next one we have is stock. So the simple meaning of stock is you have a stock of something but you don't use that. So similarly,
we are not using it. क्यों नहीं यूज करें? because there is no need. जरूरत नहीं है भी यूज करने की, जरूरत पड़ेगी तो यूज करेंगे, अभी नहीं है, that's why they are known as stock. Still we can say we don't have a technology to use these resources, that's why we are not using it.
Materials in the environment have the potential to satisfy human needs, but human beings do not have the appropriate technology to access these. One fine example for this is coal bed methane extraction. So in India, to extract coal, we have open cast.
Look at this mining, open cast mining, mineral mining, यहाँ से coal is extracted from this. कितना deep जाके we have to cut down the land, then coal is extracted. You can see the movement of vehicles here. ये मतलब upper portion they are showing you, उसके बहुत नीचे जाके एकदम last तक जाके there is a mining, right?
Cast mining, which means you simply blow a piece of rock or a land area with the help of dynamite and extract coal out of it. So this kind of extraction is cost effective as well as easier when compared to underground mining. Underground mining can be dangerous as well as expensive. Now the whole idea behind
look at the underground mining.
Easier when compared to underground mining. Underground mining can be dangerous as well as expensive.
Look at this underground mining. ये जमीन के नीचे है सारा, सारी machines, underground mining is a cutter, big cutter. ये mining हो रही है जमीन के नीचे, which is extremely risky. यही हम कहते हैं ना कि जब mining है तो earthquakes are common there, या लैंड डिफॉरेस्टेशन टेक प्लेस बिकॉज ऑफ दिस। जमीन को हम नीचे से खोखला कर रहे हैं तो ऑटोमेटिकली अपर पार्ट जो उसको सेव किया, उसको मशीन्स लगाई हुई सेव करने के लिए नीचे ना गिर जाए, तो ये ऑटोमेटिकली वीक हो जाएगा। वीक होगा तो चांस ऑफ अर्थक्वेक या चांस ऑफ लैंडस्लाइड कॉमन हियर। सो लुक एट द अंडरग्राउंड माइनिंग कोल।
Now, the whole idea behind coal bed methane extraction is that deep down there are chunks of coal present, and to extract that, the best form is to extract it in the form of natural gas. So what they do is they simply find out the distance between the coal bed and the surface of the land. I mean how deep it is. And then they simply drill down there, and then they pour hot steamy water into the coal bed. So when hot water comes in contact with the coal bed, methane is released from the coal and flows up as a gas, and then methane is compressed and piped to market. So this all needs state-of-the-art technology, and here the coal that is deep down inside the earth's surface is there like a stock, and to access that we need this state-of-the-art technology. So with this example I hope you get the meaning of stock. And the third topic is development of resources. So when we say development of resources,
so we know development of resources, we have to develop our resources, and we have to be careful enough that there should be resources should be enough to satisfy our need, not the greed of the individual. Second, resources have to be developed, resources have to be conserved, because in our country, if we're talking about particularly, resources are confined in the hands of few rich persons only. So in the society, there's a gap between rich and poor. Then we can say resources are not equally distributed everywhere. There are certain areas where resources are more, there are certain areas which are rich in resources, there are certain areas which are poor in resources. So that's why also resources should be conserved and developed in a proper way. So is development ke liye, conservation ke liye, one meeting, first time in the history of world, just to talk about the resources, a meeting was held in 1992. The name of the place is Rio de Janeiro, and it's in South America, and country is Brazil. First International Earth Summit was held there. And what was the motive of this first International Earth Summit? That is to talk about this development of resources, sustainable development. And that's why Agenda 21 was signed. That was one of the program. Agenda 21 was signed by the participant countries. And what was that? सभी कंट्रीज ने लोकल लेवल से लेके नेशनल लेवल तक they would do their best to make to convert developed resources to sustainable development. So or we can say their main agenda 21 में ये था, development तो करो but it should be sustainable, means keeping future in mind. Development should be that like this, we should keep future in mind. So this development is known as conservation of development, yeah, sustainable development.
Where the resources are located in the
next is resource planning in India. ये बहुत ही एक अच्छा question which I put in a test paper, but you people did not attempt this question in a proper way. कोई explanation was not there in your exam. If question is like this, and if you won't explain it with the help of example, I'm not going to give you any mark. You just have written, say, identification, inventory of resources, surveying, mapping, qualitative and quantitative estimation. आपने इतना ही लिखा. अरे आपने, you are supposed to elaborate it with the help of examples. Take any example. किसी को भी लिख के example करके आप you could write down the answer. So this question was there, 2 mark question was there. That is identification, inventory of resources, surveying, mapping and qualitative and quantitative estimation of resources. Done?
The country. Then we need to do some surveys and mapping for the qualitative and quantitative estimation. So the Geological Survey of India does this work. So with the help of satellite and other forms of technology, it prepares an estimation as to how much of certain mineral or resource is available. For example, what is the quantity of coal left in our country, or what grade of coal do we have? Because you see, these all are important because these all determines the cost of that resources in the international market. And then we need to have proper
Good grammar and spelling are important,